Walking down into Staithes, I found myself in the harbour looking up the beck. Here you can see the beck with the cow bar on the right and the lifeboat station on the near right. That's Penny Nab. The tide's out. Well, I actually watch the tides coming in and out. When I first arrived, I took some photographs from down in the harbour behind these boats looking up to this perch, and this is a black and white tonal version of the painting. It allows me to look and check the values. I can see that I've got one or two areas in conflict, and some are quite dark in the background compared to areas in the foreground. And this is the beck sweeping round the corner. The blue in the foreground was a lot redder than it appears. The oranges in the landscape and in the tiles in the village, it made the blue appear cooler. You can see the oranges frame the slither of blue going through the left-hand side of the sketch up to the sea. The oranges in Cowbar Nab here, and the oranges in the tiles, and the oranges in the greens and the cliffs. These framed the blues in the sky and the waters, sketched the colours in cooler than they were. Can you see how that blue is quite icy compared to the warmth of the oranges around? And similarly, in the village here, areas of tiles on the roofs, they're slate, like a blue slate, again overcompensated, made them a lot cooler than they actually were because of the surrounding orange tiles and the warmth of the bricks. Silt that's been washed down from the sandstone of the surrounding cliffs. There are several components to the composition of this sketch. On reflection, I can see an S shape, a couple of rectangles, a huge great X. It actually helps me to understand what I'm doing in the work. For instance, the strongest part of the composition is this X coming down. It focuses on this area here, the top of the steps where the bridge comes over. And that in itself forms another rectangle. There's a rectangle here using the bridge, and there's a rectangle going across the skyline and following down the buildings and across. There's also an S shape coming behind the beck and follows the wall and then across the tips of the boats there. So you've got this S shape crossing the bridge. You've got an X going all the way down to the bottom right hand corner of the picture, and from the top right hand corner down to the left. And then you've got a vertical on the right hand side of the picture, and it goes from Penny Nab straight down through the buildings and down this vertical of the building to the bottom. So on the bottom right hand side of the picture you've got a lot of busy activity, and on the bottom left hand side of the picture in this corner here, it's acting as a visual buttress, a kind of a neutral area, doing what it does to the beck. It deflects the beck and it deflects the eye round into the bend of the picture. But the reason why this activity is so important here, it stops the eye from going off the canvas, but it also leads the eye up the beck and round the corner and round the back of the harbour there and out to sea. And the eye comes back round and it looks at the shapes within the shapes. The composition of the sketch is working within the reality of the sketch, within these smaller areas. So from small rectangles over here on the left to the bigger rectangles and verticals and horizontals and diagonals. It shows how the eye is reading the picture.